We're going to start with problem A on skills 9. And this is something that we've talked about before. Normally, the problems that we practiced before, those were problems where it was just like a 10. But the same trick works even for these numbers. Take a look at problem A. 600 times 2. Remember, we said that whenever we multiply and the number has zeros at the end, what they call trailing zeros, because the zeros are at the end of the number, like the number 10 or the number 100. If the number has trailing zeros, there's a trick that you can use to make that problem easier. So we're going to do a few together. 600 times 2. How many zeros are there at the end of 600? Kylie, how many zeros are at the end of 600?
2.
There are 2. So what I'm going to do to make my problem easier and simpler for me is I'm going to cross out those 2 zeros. Okay, Kylie? 1, 2. Now, this is math. I can't just get rid of stuff because I don't like it. What I can do is I can move it for just a little bit, but I can't just completely get rid of it. If I get rid of those zeros from 600, then all that's left is 6. Okay, Bradley. 6 times 2. Who can tell me what is 6 times 2? Jada, what's 6 times 2? Not 18. You're going a little bit beyond there. Alexa? Okay.
12.
12. 6 times 2 is 12. Okay. But my answer is not just 12. 600 times 2 is not 12. What I have to remember is earlier, I took away 2 zeros, didn't I? What I have to do now is I have to give those zeros back. And if I took away 2 zeros, I need to give back 2 zeros. It has to be the same number. So I'm going to put 1 0 back. And I'm going to put the second 0 back. And now I have my answer. 600 times 2 is 1,200. So even though the number 600 is pretty big, it doesn't mean that when I use it to multiply that the problem has to be very difficult. If it has trailing zeros at the end of the number, I can use that trick and make it a lot simpler for myself. We can do the same thing on the next one. The next problem is 400 times 9. How many zeros are at the end of 400? If I look at that number 400, how many zeros are at the end? 2. Again, I can't just get rid of them because I don't like them. That's not the way math works. But what I can do is I can move them for now. So if I move them away for now, I'm left with 4 times 9. Who can tell me what is 4 times 9? Kylie, what's 4 times 9?
4 times 9 is 36.
36. Very good. But I can't just stop there and say it's 36. I have to remember that earlier I moved 2 of those zeros. I took them away. If I take them away, I have to give them back. I took away 2 zeros, so I need to put back 2 zeros. So 400 times 9 will give me an answer of 3,600. Okay. Next problem, problem C. 500 times 3. How many zeros are at the end of 500? How many zeros do I see at the end of the number 500? Bradley, how many zeros are there?
2.
2 zeros. I can move them for now. I can't get rid of them completely. But if I move them away for now, I have 5 times 3. You can tell me, what is 5 times 3? Violet?
15.
15. But my answer is not just 15. I did move 2 of those zeros. I gotta move them back. 1 0, 2 0. 500 times 3 is actually 1,500. What about problem D? How many zeros are at the end of, the problem says 200 times 2. How many zeros do I have at the end of 200? Chase, how many zeros are at the end of 200? There are 2 zeros at the end of 2. Since they're at the end, I can move them for now. Now, here's the important thing. The zeros, if I'm going to move them around, they have to be at the end of the number. I can't move zeros that are in the middle of a number. They have to be at the end. But since they are, I can move them. I get 2 times 2. What is 2 times 2? Jaylene, what's 2 times 2?
4.
4. But I took out 2 zeros earlier. Gotta put 2 zeros back. My answer would be 400. I want you to try problem E and F on your own. I'll give you a little bit of time to do that, and then we're going to check them together. Problem E says 700 times 6. There are 2 zeros at the end of 700. I can take those away for just a little bit. And I'm left with 7 times 6. If I multiply 7 times 6, I get 42. But I can't forget the 2 zeros I took away earlier. So my answer should be 4,200. Problem F, I can solve almost the exact same way. There's just something I can't forget. At the end of 6,000, there's not just 2 zeros I can take away. There's 3. I'm going to take away those 3 zeros for just a little bit. I have 6 times 4. 6 times 4, 24. And now I have to put my zeros back. But when I go to put them back, I have to remember, I didn't just take away 2 zeros. I took away 1, 2, 3 zeros. So I have to put back 1, 2, 3 zeros. That means that my answer is 24,000. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Give me a thumbs up if you got at least one of those problems right. Thumbs down if you made a mistake on both of them. That's good. Let's do some more practice then. I want you to try problem G and H on your own, and then we're going to check them together. G and H. Problem G says 8,000 times 1. Now the funny thing about problem G is I don't even need to do that trick with the zeros. We've talked about the number 1, and we said that when you multiply anything times 1, it's a very special problem. Because anything that you multiply times 1 does not change. So if it was 8,000 before, and I'm multiplying times 1, it does not change. It is still 8,000. I don't even have to use the trick with the zeros. Now for H, I do. I have to use that trick. I have 4,000 times 5. If I look at the end of 4,000, I can see 3 zeros. So I'm going to take away 3 zeros for just a little bit and have 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. And now I have to put those zeros back. I took away 3 zeros, which means I need to put 3 zeros back. 1, 2, 3. My answer should be 20,000. Now, on problems like H, don't get confused. My answer was 20. 4 times 5 equals 20. I have to put back the same amount of zeros I took away. So even though there's already 1 0 here, I still have to put 1, 2, 3 zeros.